When we think of safe spaces, we often think about spaces intended to be free of bias, conflict criticism, or potential threatening actions, ideas, or even conversations. But did you know, for those in the chronic pain community, having a safe space may simply mean utilizing equipment to make life easier or making ourselves comfortable in the midst of discomfort? Are you ready for another chronic pain conversation? Let's go. Hello, and welcome to Chronic Pain Conversation. My name is Truth McLaren Thomas, and this is my lovely co-host, Kalila Bruzlal. This is a show where we have open and honest dialogue about chronic pain. We share on our experiences, acknowledging the wide variety of chronic pain diagnosis, and look at ways to manage chronic pain. So, it's that time again. Kalila, we're going to jump right into pain or pleasure to get a status up on where both our bodies are at for the show. So tell me, girl, pain or pleasure?
I'd say pain, but I just rubbed like a whole bunch of pain cream on my body. So I'm kind of like pleasure. It's been an interesting week. I'm traveling like I normally do. It's taking a bit of toll on the body, but I can't complain. I'm really happy. I'm in a good space, and I think that mindset always helps when it comes to your health. So I can't complain. I'm happy. How about you? Pain or pleasure, my love?
I cannot lie. I'm all pleasure today. One, because you're in pleasure, and I just know you're in pleasure. If you told me pain, if you had said pain, I would have called you out. I would have called BS and said,
if what? If you said pain?
If you said pain.
No, you can't do that. You guys can't do that. You need to be the voice, girl. You know that I could be smiling and in a lot of pain. You know that.
I know. But I know your pleasure today. All pleasure.
All pleasure today.
But I am all pleasure, 100%. I'm not even having aches or pains, quite honestly. So that's a bonus for the day. What happened?
Wait. So we're on season 2, episode 3.
Yeah.
We're 15, 18 shows in. Is this the first time both of us are not
like our pleasure together? Totally, yeah.
It's taken 18 shows for this to happen?
At this point. Let's not jinx it. Don't jinx it, though.
Okay, my bad. Whoops, my bad.
But I'm ready to start the day, and I'm ready for the show. Honestly, I think this is a show where I'm going to learn a lot, personally.
Really? Okay.
I think so.
Okay, so guys, we're doing part 2 of our episode, where the first one we were doing about occupational therapy, and now we're going into safe spaces. And the reason why we started with occupational therapists was because we wanted you to understand who can provide you or help you or give you insight to those safe spaces. Right. So, Tarifa, today we are talking about an all too important but not yet discussed enough topic of safe spaces and making discomfort comfortable. Like, we don't really say that, right? Like, how do you make discomfort comfortable?
Right.
And so we want to dig into making your safe space comfortable in a way so that it advocates for you. We want to talk about love at home. We want to talk about safe space. What does our rooms look like? What do we do? So tell me, why are you so excited about this topic? Like, what is it? Like, you're ready to learn. What are you ready to learn?
Yeah, because with our friendship, like what you go through, you share with me and vice versa. Yeah. And, it's just interesting. Like, guys, when I go to Kalila's house, like, she makes it comfortable for her, but little does she know, she makes it comfortable for other people too.
Like, I did it on purpose.
Guys, like, seriously. So it's just like certain things I see she does. It's just like, I haven't even thought about that. And it's not that I couldn't. I just never thought about it. But we're gonna get into. I don't want to say too much as to what she has that sends off the aha moment. But I think it's a session that I'm going to learn a lot about. I maybe do little things, but not as much as I can do.
Okay. So we're about to make some happy people. Sharifa, are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Okay. So let's make a couple of happy people. So let's talk about, we're going to go into 3 different spaces today. The first one is we're going to talk about the office, right? Because there's a lot of our chronic pain conquerors out there, and they work. and it's really, really hard. So let's talk about what it means to make our workspace very comfortable and safe for us. And I'm going to start with you because we have two different backgrounds when it comes to work. Like right now, you are volunteering, and when you volunteer, you drive in a car. So tell us, how do you make yourself comfortable in a car? Like, let's hear this. I don't know where she went. She was here and then she left me, people. It's okay.
I'm here.
She's back.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so for work, I work out of my car, meaning I do volunteer services for foster children, right? So it's a lot of drive about 20 to 25 hours a week. So I'm in and out of the vehicle, taking children to and from appointments, whatever the case is. And so I chose this volunteer service because it wouldn't be strenuous, as in like standing for long periods of time. I wouldn't really have to lift a lot of things or whatever the case is, right? So that's why I chose it. Okay. So for my comfort, I would have a pillow in my car, and that's to support my back. I don't always need it, but it just really depends on the day. My seat warmers are always on, and I'm talking particularly in the wintertime. Summertime, we can't have those heat warmers on because leather seats.
Don't get twisted. Summertime, we can.
It's already heated. Let's just say that, okay? So, but most importantly, seat warmers are always on in the winter because those are my worst months, I find. My headrest is adjusted perfectly. And most importantly, I have to put my seat on an incline. So most drivers, like, straight up, good posture, you're driving on the road kind of thing. I'm more like cruising.
Lean with it.
Right. I'm cruising. So that's typically what it looks like for me.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm really glad I'm so glad that you shared that. So I have a question for you. It was really funny because you were talking about it not being strenuous and all of these different things. Like, you were selective on what you did with your volunteer. First and foremost, can I just stop and say that I'm so proud of you for the cause that you picked, for the fact that you do this, for the fact that, you guys don't know, Sharifa's I need to do something with my life. So she doesn't care if she's bleeding to the last edge. She's like, I need to do something with my life. So I'm so proud of you, Mama.
Thank you.
Is it strenuous at all? Can it trigger your body? Can it set anything off on you?
No. I'm gonna be honest. It might trigger off a little headache, but that's because, little Tommy doesn't want to not see his mom, or time is up and there's crying the whole way home kind of thing. But other than that, nothing physical, to be honest. As long as I have those things done, where my seat warmers are on and keeping my joints warm, and I'm dressed for the weather, I'm fine.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, so I guess it's my turn. Okay. So I'm going to share the screen so that people can see what it is that we are doing. So we have a couple of different things. So when you guys hear me, you've heard me say before how I've had my car accident. I had a slip and fall. So my very first experience when it came to what it meant to make my safe space was actually from my work. So I'm going to share with you guys some stuff and then you can see. So one of the things that my work did, I think I shared the wrong thing. One of the things that my work did was they got me into the word ergonomics.
I'm not sure either. I see ergonomics, but they know what you're talking about.
Okay. So one of the things that they did for me was they got me a chair, right? And after I left my job, I took the chair with me because it was mine. But they actually have that department, that HR, that long-term disability, that actually does this for you. So if you guys have any kind of chronic pain, any disability, anything like that, advocate for yourself and go and talk to your HR and see what they can do for you. Yeah. So my chair kind of looks like this. And the reason why, if you guys can see, normally what happens is an ergonomic chair right where this area is, has like a cushion or push so that it can support your back. And sometimes they have the headpiece. It varies depending on what it is. But things like this one actually is a drafting chair, so it gets really tall when your table is tall, but you can still stand at it. And it can support your back. Like if you notice, you want chairs that have the neck behind it. You see how this one has the curve in it? Yeah. Your back curves. So even if your office is at home, these are the things that you should definitely be looking for. Also, when it comes to the keyboarding and the mouse. So I've showed you guys this before. This is my ergonomic mouse. As you see, it's not the small one, but what it does is it curves to my hand. Do you see how it like fits into the palm of my hand? It's not like I'm doing anything. So really and truthfully, both the keyboard and the mouse help when it comes to the typing and making it comfortable and safe for me. And the reason why we're using the word safe is because it's not hurting our bodies. It's keeping our bodies safe for us. And then finally, one of the things that people don't know about, and I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to get one of these or not, they have these sit stand chairs. And basically, if you're like, it can go with your table when you're going up and down, but it's an all-in-one. Look at Sharifa's face. She's just like, oh my gosh. So you can sit in it, kind of have a push in it, or just hold it so it's behind your back. But you see again how it's got that piece where it's going and supporting that back, that lower back, because your curve takes on so much pressure. So these are some of the things that I've had or that I have in my house that like totally work for me. So does that make sense? Look at you. You look so.
I have a question. I have
an answer.
I'm not. I'm a laptop person. So would you suggest? You may not know the answer. Would you suggest getting like a Bluetooth mouse and a Bluetooth keyboard for like your laptop kind of thing? Remember, laptop, your mouse is on there, your keyboard is on there. Like, I'm just wondering.
So I always have. So mine's a Bluetooth.
Okay.
So you can they have Bluetooth now, or they have the ones with the USB.
Right.
And you plug it in. And what's really cool is that it's funny when we're talking about that, those can get transferred over to like your smartphone or your smart TVs at home. So you can use that Bluetooth for not just your laptop, but you can use it for your smart as well, you know? And so that really kind of works for me.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go into home, because we know that we've got a lot of people that are home. Most of our everybody's like at home.
Right.
So talk to me about, I know that I have a picture here for you.
Okay.
Talk to me about what it looks like in terms of what your home looks like for you.
Okay. So my home, when I'm in the living room, you know, typical couch has cushions. I'm not worried about my living room. Being in the kitchen is when I'm okay. So I don't really have support in the kitchen. That's just me. Where I get work done and where, you know, I zen and I just be by myself is my room. And so simply for me, to be honest, you have your pillows on your bed to rest your head at night. I just take those and I put them against my bed. Chloe will show you a picture. I put them against my bed. And so I'm now sitting with the support on my back. It looks simple, but it does me wonders, to be honest.
It does us so much wonders. Do you, when you're, if you don't have a pillow, do you roll your towels or anything like that?
No.
Oh, honey, when I go for the
explain that to me. How would you roll your towel?
So you have your towel. Okay, I'm going to use my, look, I have a towel right beside me. So normally it's bigger, or even when I go to like, especially if I go to the manicurist, we're going to talk about other spaces afterwards, but you've got your towel and you want to like fold it in half.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And basically what happens is you roll. So you see how it's the length of like almost my chest, like it can go, it's halfway. And what happens is you kind of roll it. And as you roll it, now this one's smaller, so I might do two, but as I do it, it literally goes right again in that curve of your back. So anytime I'm uncomfortable anywhere, whether it's a doctor's office or somewhere else, I'm like, give me a towel, we're good. Or I'll roll up a jacket, or I'll roll up all of that stuff, girl.
I see. That's what I'm telling you. I'm learning new things. It's a learning episode for me. But that's what I do when I'm just in and it's so comfortable. It's really comfortable.
It is.
I transfer to a chair. It's the same thing. I just take a pillow, put it behind me, and, you know, I'm okay. I have my little stool maybe if I need to prop up my feet, but I don't usually need to.
Right.
But yeah, that's for me.
Okay. So this one's going to be longer because I'm going to say this. I'm actually really thankful that, you know, when you're thankful for that ex, for that one thing that they did in your life, and they're like, make your home comfortable. So like I was saying, I have my ergonomic. So I have a home office, you guys. And so again, I have my ergonomic chair when I'm in the office. I'm going to take you guys through a couple of different things when it comes to me. Couple of my coping things before I even share this. Let me just come off of that for a minute. Some of my coping things are like stretching. When I'm in the office, when I'm at work, when I'm at home, when I'm whatever, one of our coping styles, no matter what, which always creates your safe space, is I'm always talking about stretching. Like if Sharifa will tell you, she doesn't care if she's in a meeting and there's 50 people there, I will walk and go to the back of the room and I'll like bend over and stretch, or I'll go one way.
And then everyone's looking at Kalia like, is she okay? She's like, no, I'm good, guys. Keep going.
But what happens afterwards? At break time, how many people come and stretch afterwards?
And Kalia just sitting there like, I already done my stretches.
I really am. So when it comes to home, it's the same. It's really kind of like that same thing for me. When it comes to my medication, so let's go through a couple of things. When it comes to my medication, I know a lot of people have this. They have like, it's the 7-day one's out right now, the 7-day. And so I can really, what helps me and why I call it a safe space is because I always forget this stuff. And it's an easy once a week, pick up, throw in my bag, or it's just on me. Instead of me trying to, if I showed you my bag, Sharifa, you've seen my bag. Like my bag would cover my face. Like, so this is so much easier.
Yeah.
When it comes to like taking my medication, it comes to timers. Me and you were both talking about timers. How many timers a day do you have?
I have 3.
Okay.
For actual like prescription medication, and then I have 2 in between for just my vitamins and stuff that I make sure that I take every day.
So you have 5 alarms that go off for the day.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, you're better than me. I have 3.
Okay.
So I have like my morning, and then I have my afternoon, my evening, and then I have my bedtime. So you're kind of like you're with me when we do the same thing.
It's the vitamins that I feel I want to take that I put a timer on for as well. And I actually have this cool little keychain.
Yeah, show it. Let's see this.
It's on my keys, so you open it up, and the medication that you might need on the road. So my vitamins go in this actually. Not my prescription medications, because my prescription medications I'd be at home. But my vitamins would go in this, take it out, and then it's on my keys. So I'm not even looking for it in the, women's purses. We're digging in there. I'm not even digging for it. It's right on my keys.
I love it. Okay. So I'm going to take you through different parts of my home so that you guys understand this. And I'm hoping that our conquerors can be able to find some information and see if this helps. So coming back to the house, I always have the ergonomic chair, and I'm talking about my office right now. I also have, you're going to love this. So this is one of those laptops. I actually have 2. I'm using one right now, but this is an example of one of those portable laptops, and you can flip it in so many different directions to fit on your lap, because there's days that I can't get out of bed. And Sharifa will tell you, she's like, I'm not in bed, but I can at least move my hand so I can move a mouse or something. This is the one that I actually have that I use, that I post from. So this is a similar one. And you were asking questions about, well, what does it look like? So it's really foldable. And I love this one because I can actually put it in my suitcase and take it with me. It's like the last thing that goes on the top of the suitcase. Right. And then I close the suitcase and I'm gone. So this is how I make my office portable. So I can have my office anywhere in my house, in my bed, on my sofa, any of that stuff. When it comes to my bedroom now, one of the things that I have is my bed rail. Now, I hated to get this, you guys. I really did. But I'm not going to lie. It's probably one of the things that have saved my life the most. And it's this really long piece of metal. It goes underneath the mattress. And what happens is because when your body comes over to like use the handle to help you get out of bed, your the weight of your body holds
It's
it down.
holding it, right.
This really new mechanism. And basically what happens is there are days where I still have to just like hold it and pull myself up because I have days where I'm completely crashed. And so this has been one of the wonders that has helped me get out of bed in the first place. Heating pads. I'm pretty sure everybody knows they've got the heating pads,
Yeah.
but did you know they have heating blankets? Wintertime, this is my best friend. I have a heating blanket because the pad kind of only gets your back. But me and Sharifa live in Canada. And when it gets to like minus something up here, I'm shaking, I'm crying, I'm in tears. So a pad, the whole blanket is what I come out with in the wintertime. I love it. I also have a weight blanket. This was a gift from someone. Theon, I love you for it. She gave me this weight blanket. Now, what's really funny is, you know, when we hear about autistic people, and if you hug them, the pressure releases the stress of their body. The weight blanket is the same kind of concept. And they have them in different weights. You can get them in 5, 10, 15. I think you can still get them in 20 and whatever. These suckers are heavy. But what happens is the pressure is kind of like removing that tension that's in our body, Sharifa, because we deal with fibro and we have the touching. And so this weight is kind of actually helping me. It helps me fall asleep. I've yet to, some days it's like, it's not overly hot. And some days I don't want it, but the days that I use it, I always fall asleep. In fact, I have it with me now because when I get scared of like traveling in the hotels or staying at some place and I don't have a lot of comfort, I know that this can give me the rest that I need. And so I really want to say to people, like, go out there and find it. There is me and my walking stick. You'll see another picture of it. But I have my walking stick both in the house and outside of the house. There are days where I need it. And it's a great thing because it can be like that extra, you know, push the button in the elevator or help you get through something. And a lot of people ask me about why I didn't get a cane. 2 reasons. One, I'm young. I might be old, but I look young. And I didn't want a cane. And 2, I'm tall. I'm 5'11". And to get a walker or a cane really is hunching you over. And I'm a nature girl. Sharifa will tell you, I'm a huge nature girl. And we would be walking with the sticks back in the day anyhow. So using a walking stick just made sense to me. And it's got a couple of different carvings on it, but everybody really likes it. And it advocates for me without actually advocating, like without me saying anything. So it's pretty cool. When it comes to the bathroom, like you guys don't understand, like I made my home as comfortable as I could be. There's this, now I don't have this one. I got to show you the one that I have, but Sharifa, there's a suction handle. So you can, if you have trouble getting out of the bathtub, they have these things where you can suction it on, and it's a suction handrail, and you can use it anywhere in your house, but this one is for the bathroom, and it really helps. I personally have the chair. Sharifa, I think we had this conversation where I like cried to accept the chair because you're like, I don't want to be sitting in my tub because you're not supposed, the only time you're supposed to sit in your tub is when you're taking a bath. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Right. And now you're sitting and you feel like you're old and you feel like you're disabled. But I'm not going to lie to you, honey. When you put your shower cap on and you got that piece of thing. Water. What? Girl? Yes. And your body can't move and you can't stand. You're just like, thank God for the chair. I was like, are you okay in there? And I'm like, I'm fine. Yeah. Leave me alone. And you know, the bending and when days where it's really, really hard. Aching, yeah. It is such a good thing because I will tell you, taking a shower can give me a flare up or exhaust my energy. Yeah. Nobody thinks about what it means to wash yourself, lather yourself, rinse yourself off, dry yourself off, put the cream on, put your clothes on.
Let me tell you, this weekend I had to wash my hair and it took me about a good hour from the time that I said I was ready to actually get in the shower and do it. Because I was aching and I'm just like, oh my God, I gotta wash my hair now. That's a process. Then I'm gonna shower after. That's a process. And you might not think like, you know, it's a process to shower, but when your body's aching and cannot bother. It is the hardest thing to just mentally get yourself in that shower and do what you got to do.
People don't understand, like, sometimes just brushing our teeth in the day is an accomplishment. Is like the fact that we changed our clothes, it's an accomplishment. And it's not to say that we're lazy. What we're saying is that to stretch out our hands, the touch of the fabric, all of those different things, they can exacerbate us. And it's hard. Definitely. You know, this is the one that I got from my program. And basically it hits on the side and they turn it in and it puts the pressure on, and then I can use it to get in and out. But I really want people to know that there's different types of bath rails to help you if you're having the dish issues. One of the other things that I've had to come down to now is sitting to do my hair in the bathroom, or bringing a chair into the bathroom. Stop feeling like, you know what I mean? Like, I need to make my bathroom as comfortable and safe for me. And I can't stand up to do the hair like you said that you want to do the hair. So even though Patricia does my hair for me and I get it washed, if I have to prep for a show or I have to do something and I got to do my hair, I can't stand to do it, or it has to be done in sections. So one of the things that I do is I bring a chair into the bathroom. Mm-hmm. Now, when we get into the kitchen, this is what I love. The gripper. So this is a bottle and can opener gripper. And basically it's like a rubber, and the pressure of it opens it up for you. I didn't think, like, people just see this as an everyday tool, but for someone with accessibility issues, this is a wonder. Yeah. There's also the gripper. So, you know what I mean? Listen, I might be tall, but sometimes I can't reach into the back anymore because my lower back hurts. Getting a gripper to pick up that something, or to just, you know, when you can't bend down or something like that, this is an amazing tool that a lot of people have. And I want to say to our accessible disability, and I don't even care if you have a disability or not, it's a wonder for your back. Then they have things like the automated canover. I didn't think that this was anything huge, Sharifa, but when the occupational therapist is the one to recommend it for me, I was like, hey, I'm learning something, right? How many times you try to knock the can and you can't? I don't. Go on, girl. Go on.
No, it's true. And you know what's funny? You're talking about some of these things. I have some of these things around my house. Real joke. They're just sitting there. So best believe they're coming out today.
And then there's another one that you can get at the dollar store. And sometimes when you go to certain places, they give it to you. It's just it's a plastic or just fabric, and it's round, and it's also called a gripper. You can get them at the dollar store, anything. And the same, it just gives you extra grip to open stuff up, especially when we lack strength, especially when it might hurt our bodies. Right. So these are some of the things that I use, like, in the kitchen. Now, when it comes to the gym, I have a gym at home. I have a corner that's a gym. We were talking about how to make that safe for me. And this is an example of what my trampoline looks like. And most people get a trampoline that looks like this, but we lose our balance, right? Shereen will tell you. And so there's stuff that you can find for your equipment, for your exercise things that can, like, I have the handle. I bought the handle as an additional piece. And I want people to understand that even when it comes to working out, there are things that are there to help you, to keep you moving, to allow you to get that exercise in your life. So look and see what else is out there to help you when it comes to your equipment. I just wanted to show this one because I hadn't seen this one, but this is another option for trampolines or different things that are other equipment that's out there. So it was really great. And then let's go into the living room. I just renovated. I'm still renovating. Sharifa,
guys, I'm in love with her living room right now, and it's not even done.
So I'm not being fancy, you guys. I'm not being fancy before someone's like, oh, you're stush or whatever. First and foremost, you wouldn't believe me if I told you how much that fireplace cost. It really wasn't much. But the reason for it is me and Sharifa says, we get cold in the wintertime. And I can't take my blanket from the bedroom into the living room. And even though I have a building, they control the heat. And so when it gets really cold, I can still feel the cold. And so placing a fireplace, an electrical fireplace, a portable fireplace in my home makes it easier for me in the living room when I'm having cold days or on days where I'm lying on the ground. You guys don't understand. As much as you see this, there are days where I'm flat out on the ground, and having that heat beside me is really good. So it's not about aesthetics, it's actually about it becoming a need for me. And here's the infamous massage chair. Look at Sharifa's face. She's so happy. You guys, for the Fibro Fighters nonprofit that me and Sharifa are a part of, we are trying so hard to get our funding because we want this kind of massage chair in everybody's house. And the reason for this is because it helps with, we had that conversation, especially when we're doing Valentine's Day, where we're talking about touch therapy and sensitization. And I'm not going to lie, it's been helping. It's helped reduce, it's helped calm down things that would trigger me a lot faster because of the touch therapy.
Right.
And this thing goes into like, I got a fancy one, I'm not going to lie, but even the more subtle versions, can give you the chronic pain, can give you jiu-jitsu, can give you air therapy, can, trigger the bottom of your feet, can all of the places that we're having pain with, it can help with touch therapy. And then that touch therapy can bring back circulation, can bring back sensitivity, can bring back a lot of different things to help you. And what else do I have in here? I think that's it. I hope. I know I have a lot of stuff in my house, right, Sharifa?
Oh my goodness. I might just move in, to be honest.
Okay. So there's also a couple of other things. So for example, I have the little rolly stand, that like people see them for the hairdressers or whatever.
Yeah.
But I have that as my portable, movable office, right? It's actually it's a pretty cool thing. Oh, found it. Here we go. So I'm going to show you if that's okay.
And the time I saw it, I was kind of like, isn't that for like the esthetician? I just like, we were having a meeting and I just see her roll it and her computer was on there and she's like, all right, let's go.
I think what is really important is that I want people to understand that you can take everyday things and make it to fit for you. So she's talking about this cart. It's from IKEA, you guys. This little cart is now my portable home. One layer feeds my food. One layer is my laptop. One layer is below. And the other thing that I wanted to show you is I took my coffee table, Sharifa, from IKEA.
Yeah.
And I got what's called, it's a lift table. So when I sit on my chair, I don't have to lean over to my table, my coffee table. My coffee table comes to me. And then because I'm tall and I'm a smart person, I put a caster at the bottom of this. And what I did with the caster was it makes my table now rollable in my house. So I made everything in my house, it can roll with me. I don't have to push it. I don't have to stress on it. I don't have to do any of that other stuff. But it just makes it so it's easier. And so simple things in terms of what you buy in your house makes it like really, really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into, because we spent a lot of time in there. Let's talk about other environments because we've done home, we've done work. Talk to me about how you make going out comfortable.
So this is my thing.
Okay.
We were having a conversation and I basically told Cleo, like, if I'm not up to it, I ain't going. But then she made a good point. She said, what happens if like a close relative or a close friend is having, an anniversary dinner, birthday dinner, engagement party? And I was like, you're right, because I ain't missing out on those. But then I think about it like this. For me, when I really think about it, I think for me, especially, I think about wintertime, only because winter is my worst time of the year. Summer, you wouldn't believe nothing wrong with me. So with that being said, it's, for me, I think it's all about the dress. I have to dress warm. It's not so much about looking all pretty and dandy, because I look pretty and dandy, but then at the end of the night, y'all don't want to even know the kind of pain that I'm in. So with that, I have to dress warm. I can't dress to impress. I have to dress according to what I'm going to feel 5 or 6 hours later, right? Same thing. If I'm driving, heaters on, seats reclined, all that stuff. I do bring a pillow. I can't even lie. I was kind of skeptical. The first time I brought a pillow, Kalila, was to church.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
It was weird for people because they were like, something's really wrong with her. Like, we heard something was wrong with her. Something's really wrong with her. So I don't hesitate with the pillow. My mom got me with this whole pillow thing.
Mm-hmm.
She saw it and she advocated for the pillow. And she said, listen, if you need it, you need it. Don't worry about who says what, who's looking at you. You need it because no one's feeling your pain. So shout out to you, Mom. Right?
We love you, Mom.
Right? Again, this is always with me. I took it off because it was on my keys, but this is always with me. And I have my timers. They're probably just on vibrate, so to vibrate. But for the most part, I think when I go out, I'm not worried about summer, to be quite honest. It's the in-between. It's the in-between seasons. And with that, I think for me, it's just I have to dress warm because I have to keep my joints warm so that they're not achy and all that stuff. And then I have to stay on top of my medications to help with that as well.
You're rocking.
Yeah.
You're really rocking. Okay. I like that.
I want to know what you do because I've seen things that you do. And I kind of want to give them an example, but I want you to share.
Okay. All right. So here we go. First and foremost, when it comes to me going out and about, I always like you have your keychain, but when I'm like traveling, outings, whatever, I have two small medicine ones. And one stays in my car and one stays in my purse. So whether or not I remember to grab one of these, which I sometimes forget, there's always a backup in my car, no matter what. One of the other things that I do, and I really want to stress this in terms of creating my safe space, no matter where I go, is allowing other people to advocate for me and giving them permission to be like, Kalila, you're stuttering, you need to go rest. Or we need to take her to go and do something, or you need to eat or stuff like that. And I make sure that one of my coping skills is to remove myself from the trigger. So I might go somewhere for a dinner and it's overwhelming and I have to remove myself from that space. Or somebody else might notice it. And that's actually a very empowering thing. Giving someone else permission when you're willing to push, and they're like, she can't do it anymore. I'm gonna call a timeout for her. Can actually be a real big blessing, you guys. So that's one of the things that I do to make sure that no matter where I am, I have my safe space. I can
attest to that when you say somebody to, advocate for you in that sense and knowing you need a break, because shout out to you again, Mom. My mom will literally we'll be at the table and, they're talking or whatever. Dinner's maybe not served yet. Those events. Dinner's not served at 9:00. And she'll just slip me the keys under the table and say, go take a walk, go take a little breather and come back. She just knows. So you're absolutely right. It's good to know you have at least that one person that knows when you need that break and will just, do you need me to come and
because we push through it.
Yeah.
A lot of our chronic pain people will say, I don't want to burden somebody. I don't want to X, Y, and Z. Yeah. And so I will create schedules. If I've got a full day program, I will give my schedule to one or two people. And I'll be like, at 3:30, come and get me and put me in my bed or wherever you have to go. And so we're going to hear about that a little bit. So one of the things that I was talking to someone and we were talking about this is I have my fanny pack. I have my fanny pack no matter what. And my fanny pack has my medicine, has a drink. It has just a couple of different tools. So for example, Sharifa, I have a roller, right? If I'm in a lot of pain, there's the red roller balls that you guys seen me with, but I could be here and I could be in a lot of pain and I'm just rolling on myself. Do you know what I'm saying? And hitting a spot. Oh, that actually feels really good right now. Hitting a spot.
I was sitting here and I was like, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
I'm going to show you a couple of other things. So the heating pad does not just need to be for your house, people. It can come on the road with you. So I have my heating pad, but I also have one of those converters in my car that you put in the cigarette thing and it can give you the 2-3 prongs.
Right.
And so my heating pad, when I didn't have I have one in my car now. But let's say I've gone somewhere and I'm renting because I'm traveling. I bring my heating pad and I bring the one converter and boom, I've got heat on the go, right? Then there's the massager. I have this. It's in my car right now. And I actually got this particular massager, which is a neck and shoulder massager, because it can go anywhere on my body, right? And it's chargeable, it's rechargeable, and all you got to do is move it wherever you want it to be. My girl Tasha came over and I had just charged it. She wore it out in 2 hours straight. Like she was like, what kind of miracle is this? And I was like, I can't with you right now. One of the other things is my camping chairs. Mm-hmm. So everybody will be like, my camping chair is not just for camping. My camping chair is in the back of my car, and I don't care where I go. If they have bad back seat, if my pillow is not doing what it needs to do, I will go and be like, I'm over here in the corner with my notepad, leave me in my chair, because I can last longer in that camping chair than I can in the hard back that's going to tear my body down, right?
You talk about that camping chair.
What?
You talk about the camping chair, and it's funny because I never thought about that. But it's a funny story. Quick funny story. I had two in my car because summertime, I'm on the road, and I just want to stop at the park. But no, I had two in my car, and I was cleaning up my car, and I'm putting them back. My husband's like, "Where are you going with two? Give me one of them." I'm like, "Oh, are you trying to?" He's just like, "What if I'm on the road and I want to sit too?" I'm like,
"Yeah."
Oh. But
there's two in my car,
right? You would think it's only for camping, but it can come.
It's not. Stop it. Like, stop limiting your brain to where you think it just needs to be. Because truthfully, I've put the camping chair in the back of the church. I put the camping chair in a business room. I put the camping chair in a banquet. And the thing about it is that camping chair by itself will advocate for me. Plus, it's a seat nobody will take. And you can put it anywhere in the room. You can put it in the first row and no one's going to touch it.
Talk about that, guys. Khalila's first accident, I never forget. We had something to do at my church, and she came with her own chair. And when she had to stand and everyone was sitting, she was standing up. And when everyone was standing, she was sitting down. But she's right. It's a chair that ain't nobody going to touch it.
Ain't nobody touching it. And if someone does, they know to give up ownership when you come back around.
Yeah. Right? They don't even ask no questions. They look at you and they just get up. They ask nothing.
They ask no question. There's nobody putting anything. There's not I didn't know. No. Your name is nowhere on that. Okay. So this is what Sharif was really excited about. So yours truly. So Sharif was not worried about summertime, but I am. When my body can have a flare up at any time. A sound could set it off, anything. And so what I did was I took one of those half tents that we take for the beach, right? That's in the back of my car. And I got a cot, right? And I got the cot from the camping section of like Canadian Tire or Walmart, right? And that sucker can fold and unfold in like a minute flat. And then I got one of those, the beach towels not the towels, but the beach blankets. Mm-hmm. And so it can turn into a pillow, or it can turn into a blanket. And Sharifa will tell you, like, Khalila's sleeping. It literally gets, if I have a day program at the beach or something, I don't wait until I need it. It gets set up with everything else because I know I'm going to need it. It's not an if. And literally and truthfully, you guys might not think about this. That takes 5 minutes to set up, 5 minutes to tear down. Sharifa can tell you on your own. It really does. So this is one of the things where it's like, wait a minute. I do need to sleep or rest in the middle of the day while I'm out at a family picnic, while I'm out at the day at the beach, while I'm X, Y, and Zing, right? And the sand doesn't always help our body. So this is what I do to make my life a lot easier. And the amount of people that are willing to help me, like, people now know that it's in the back of my car, that when I pull up, they just go out and take it. This is something that's I don't even have to say a word. It's my voice for me. Go on, Sharifa. You have something to say.
I think too, Khalila's the kind of person, guys, she sets it up for herself, but she doesn't hesitate to ask you, do you need to go take a rest? The cot is there. Yes. Do you need it? Like, she's like sometimes she'll force you, go lie down, go and take a rest, take a 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
Again, I like that Kalila doesn't only think about herself, but she thinks about other people too.
I'm not the only one, Mama. There's been so many people that I've gone to a church event and I've actually found out that they had some kind of issue because they've used my tent, right? Because I'm not going to use the tent for the whole day. But if I need my hour's sleep, then I get my hour's sleep. Pregnant people have used it, people that want to nurse, people that need to take their medicine, people that just need to rest. And so it's really for me a communal thing because this is a communal issue. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to talk to you let's talk about the disability assistance. We always keep thinking that it's just for the people in the wheelchair. It's not, Sharifa. It's not, right? Whether it's on the airplane, whether it's on the train, whether it's on the bus, there's so many places where there's disability assistance that this can help you. And so I always use it when I travel on the plane. And I also have to use my travel assistant, who changes from time to time. But the fact of the matter is these are things that I use and I take with me. And one of the other things that I've started to do, you don't need to have a wheelchair to ask for disability and a disability or an assistance room when it comes to your hotel, right? So you know how I was talking about the chair at home? Well, the only way I'm going to get a chair in my hotel room is if I ask for the accessibility room. Right. And so this helps me because there's days where the only thing that helps is the shower and I just need to get to the shower, but I can't stand in the shower. Do you know what I'm saying?
One thing that I invested in with my shower is, I think you're showing it, the pipe. You can hold it in your hand and do what you need to do and get the water where you need it to get it, using the whole shower and just being under it.
Yeah. And so you guys, I just really want to show you, like, not even just me, but even Sharif and I, we wanted to be like, we want to show you what's out there. We want to show you how to take what's the norm and flip it to make it to be what you need. Because these are things that will be an additional voice without you actually having to say a word, right? And I know we've kind of gone over today's show, but
you forgot one thing though, that I was hoping that you would touch on, and you forgot.
Wait, which one?
We went to do a photo shoot sometime last year.
Okay, here we go.
I thought we were just gonna walk to, do what we got to do. Kalila got a whole wagon, guys. A whole
wagon.
And we forgot about that. She got a whole wagon, guys. And she's like, all right, put your stuff in there. And we were walking around with a wagon, hands empty. We probably just took turns dragging the wagon. So that's another thing. When I tell you Kalila thinks about these things, guys. She's not normal.
No, but the thing about it, okay, so the wagon, you guys are used to the one from Canadian Tire or whatever. I got one with really, really stable Cabela's. I got them with so it goes through snow, sleet, rain. It don't matter. These are like Tonka truck wheels. Yeah. And I have a trouble getting the groceries from my car to my apartment. I live on my own. I need to get them up there. I have a trouble taking the laundry up. And that takes so much weight off of me. Yeah. The other one is, I thought you were going to tell me about this one, this is one of my, when I'm in bed. This is one of my, so Sharif is talking about, like, I like a lot of selfie sticks and stuff like that, or the ones that hold it. And Sharif will tell you, like, this goes on my bed. When I can't use my computer or I can hardly move, I'll just stick this, like, my phone right in here, and I'll talk to her. And I'll be like, yeah, girl, what you doing? She's like, nothing. And I don't have to do jack. I just put it down and I'm like, I'm good. There are so many things that are out there that I want our sufferers to know that you can really utilize, really, really utilize. Mm-hmm. And don't go with the norm. Figure out what works for you, right? Like, let's talk about, like, really quickly how to create that safe space. Mm-hmm. Anything that brings ache to your body, find a way to alleviate it. Okay. That's the first thing. You want to do an overview of your needs. And if you can't do that, that's where that conversation about the occupational therapist comes back, right? Yeah. They have knowledge about everyday things that you would never have thought of to be able to help you. Utilize them. contact them. We will leave this information again, probably somewhere in the messages. We should probably do that, Sharifa.
Yeah.
But we did also post it. So make sure that, if you see last week's post, you'll see the information on where to get that. So
and feel free to message us. We will answer back definitely anything you want to know.
Yeah. Any questions, Sharifa?
I had a couple questions real quick.
Okay, let's go.
How much did getting those different equipments cost? Were they expensive? Were they not? Did they vary from what you wanted? Explain to me real quick.
Okay, so things like the massager, $60.
Okay.
Things like the gripper and things like that, pennies, because you're gonna get them from your place anyways. Now, when it comes to your home office and your ergonomic stuff, that would be the chairs and stuff may cost you $200. But the tables are $50, $60, maybe $40 off of Amazon.
Okay.
My bed rail, I didn't pay for. My long-term disability paid for, and I didn't think it cost much. My walking stick was $20, $30. What else is there? Then when it comes to the fireplace was $300, Sharifa.
Okay.
Right? That's not a bad price, right? My coffee table was maybe $150. It's IKEA. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg for all of that stuff. Yeah. The camping chair is your normal price, but I will tell people, be smart on when you get it. I still get stuff on a budget or on a sale. So at the beginning of the year, when they're into camping season and they're trying to get rid of last year's stuff, that's when I'm going into it. You know me, as much as I buy stuff, I will get something that's $250 and I'll get it for $175 or $150 because I'm looking for the sale. Right. That's the other thing that you need to work with when it comes to this. Right. The tent, the half tent, I think it was $80 or $90. It might change. I've had it for a couple of years. But the other thing is go through your Canadian Tire, your Walmart, see what's there, do some comparisons. That's the other thing. Because you're advocating for yourself, do comparison shopping. I don't just buy something. I'll take a look and see who has it, what's it for, what's the best version of it that I really like. Let's see. The fanny pack it cost pennies. What else? What is there? Is there any particular big thing that you want to know about? The massage chair, that was a pretty penny. But I know that the medical breakthrough, this is who I'll recommend, medical breakthrough. But they literally, a cheaper version is about $1,000, $2,000 for a massage chair. My roller, $15, $20. And the other thing is as much as I showed you all of this, how long have I been cut when I need it for the season, and I really work from there. So that's one of the things that I have been doing in order to get it. So you guys, some of this stuff you don't have to buy. Some of these things that you can literally, this is what I want to tell you. Go back to your social worker. Go back to your occupational therapist. Go back to whoever is helping you for your government assistance, your long-term disability, your WSIB, your all of those different things that we named last week. If you're only seeing the show today, check out our show, our part 1 occupational therapy. But there are government programs where a lot of this stuff can come to you for free, right? All my kitchen stuff, the recommendations, free, right? So unless you go out and look, there's nothing that you can really say, oh, Nikki's on. I want to say hi to Nikki. Any other questions, my love?
No, I think, like you said, I think the best one was just compare different stores, see where you can get reasonable prices for what you want. And like you said, check with your government assistance and all that stuff, see what's available to you. Because honestly speaking, I've seen some stuff that I'm like, well, she's going to be doing some research after this.
And you don't have to buy everything at once.
That's another thing too. Yeah.
Budget yourself, guys. Budget yourself. But remember, this is an investment in you, in your health, in your body, in your ability to stay around your family and friends, in your ability to get around your house and do the things that you want to do, in your ability to support your family the way that you want to. This isn't just about having a product and being like, oh, I've got something fancy. It's really about sustain. Our energy is so low, we have to sustain our energy. So if I need to spend $150 on something so that my energy is sustained longer for 3-4 years, that's an investment in me.
Yeah.
That's an investment in me.
Absolutely.
But take us to our keep it moving moment, Mama, because we got a good show today.
We did. So our keep it moving moment today is your safe space is where you can find yourself again and again. So your safe space is where you can find yourself again and again. I like that one.
How do you find yourself? Why do you like that one so much?
I feel like because sometimes with everything going on, through maybe without us creating that environment, we think about the pain. We think about how much energy is going to take out of us to do certain things. So when we create that safe space, like you said, if we need to adjust, put things in our kitchen to help us, we don't so much think about the pain because we won't feel it when we're adjusting our lives, when we're sitting in the shower instead of thinking, oh my God, I have to stand up and I got to do this. I got to bend down. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when we think less about those things, we're more comfortable and we more know that, oh my God, life can go on. Life is not, draining me. It can go on.
I kind of think I like it because when it says finding yourself, I know that you can relate to this, and I don't know if other chronic sufferers can, but we felt like we lost ourselves. We felt like we lost something in it. And so when we create the environment, we get to find ourselves and figure out how to move through this world again. Absolutely. And you can create your safe space anywhere. You can create it in someone else's space. You can create it in their car. You can create it in your home. You can create it anywhere. You just need to create your space where you're like, if you're going to someone's house and all the chairs are hard, but you bring your own chair, that's your safe space for you to feel comfortable. So that's what I would say.
Definitely. Okay, so Clea, what are your final thoughts for the show? Real quick.
Have fun with it. Explore. Take the unnorm and make it the norm for you, or vice versa. Take what seems the norm and make it unnorm for you. Like Sharifa, look, as you can see, I took what you thought was just for one thing and was like, no. So don't limit yourselves and don't limit your voice and don't limit the things that can help you. Right? Because we're talking about your life. So that would be my final thought.
My final thought, I feel like, especially with different things that you suggest, I'm just like, there's things around our house that we can use. We just don't think about it. But I think we should actually take time to think about it. Those who are watching the show, if you heard or seen anything, pull it out if you need it. My mom always says, put your pride aside and do what you got to do. So that's my final thought.
Okay. All right. So take us out, my love.
Okay, guys. So that's our show. It was an amazing show. I'm Sharifa McLaren Thomas from YouTube's The Thomas Life.
I'm Kalila, the Overcomer.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Chronic Pain Conversations. We'll be back next week, Tuesday at 12 p.m. discussing Lyme disease. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at CP Conversations. And if you are a chronic pain sufferer who would like to share your story, we invite you to be our guest. Visit our bio link on any of our social media platforms. Have a blessed day, and remember, Chronic Pain Conversations is the show that enlightens and advocates about chronic pain.